Greetings. So I wanted to share my birth story. Or my labor and delivery story, however you want to put it. I have been meaning to make this video for a very long time now, but, you know, time gets the best of me, and, before you know it, it's 6 months later, and, just now telling the labor and delivery story. Around this time last year, actually, yeah, a little bit before now, I found out I was pregnant, and this is right before the pandemic hit. I already knew that I wanted to have a home birth, but once the pandemic hit, it was for certain that I was going to have a home birth. I surely did not want to be in the hospital, considering all the things that were going on, and there was, I didn't want to have to wear a mask during my delivery, and just for my convenience, I wanted to be in the hospital. At home. I wanted to be at home to give birth. This was my 7th child. It's just more convenient for me to be at home. And so this is not my first home birth. I've had a home birth prior to this one. About 4 years ago, I had a home birth with a midwife, and I actually delivered before the midwife got there. And that even though she came after, the experience was really good. She helped me. She was very, very helpful, and I really enjoyed that. Decided to go ahead and do it ourselves this time. We educated ourselves. We did a lot of research and got everything that we needed, and we decided to go ahead and do it ourselves. And so it was a very great experience for me. It was probably the best birth that I've had thus far, because as far as everything going the way that I wanted it to go. I did see a nurse midwife throughout my pregnancy. I know that there are women who, they do all their prenatals themselves. You have those that go and do their whole prenatals themselves, and they don't see a midwife or a doctor for anything. I did want to just make sure, since this is my 7th child, that I just wanted to make sure that I was healthy, that my body was functioning, and that my pregnancy was going smoothly. So I did see a nurse midwife throughout my pregnancy up into my delivery. And so my due date initially was actually September 20th. But I ended up having her on September 11th. And I was, speaking of her, because I had 5 boys before having her, 5 boys in a row before having her. So when I found out that she was going to be a girl, I was very excited. I always wanted all boys, but having 5 boys back to back, it was definitely nice to have a girl. So yeah, I just think that was perfect for me. So anyway, I ended up having her September 11th. I ended up going into labor the day before. I was having small cramps. It was probably around like after dinner, around like 5 or 6 o'clock. I started to have minor cramps, and they were picking up, but it wasn't too bad. I was able to do everything normally, and it was just, and of course around that time you get minor cramps and aches and pains, and you always kind of think, is this it? And a lot of times it's just false labor or Braxton Hicks or whatever. There was one time I had cramps all night, and I didn't know what in the world was going on, but and I was like a month before I actually gave birth. So around the end of your pregnancy, you get all kinds of different uncomfortable pains and aches and whatever. But I did know that this was going to be labor. And so as time went on, we went to bed. I went to sleep, and I didn't really say much about it. I just went to sleep, and I woke up probably about, what time? It might have been about 2:30, maybe 3 o'clock, and the cramps were picking up and getting stronger and stronger. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to I couldn't sleep because it woke me up. It woke me up out of my sleep about 2:30 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, if I'm not mistaken. It woke me up out of my sleep and I couldn't sleep any longer. So I didn't wake my husband up at that time. I just said, okay, I'm going to go ahead, get in the shower. They tell you to get in the shower to see after you take a warm shower, does it wear off? And no, it didn't wear off. I took a shower and the pains were still there. And so that's at that point, I went ahead and woke my husband up. My husband and my daughter got up, got everything situated, set up the pool, started blowing up the pool, started getting everything out that we needed and, you know, just prepping the area. And they started filling the pool for whatever. The only thing that was frustrating was, and it wasn't even frustrating, I really didn't care, but was that the pool did not blow up. Like, you know how the pools sometimes have like, the blow up pools have like rings around the pools. But anyway, the last little ring at the top didn't want to blow up for whatever reason, but it didn't matter because it blew up enough for me to have enough water in there for me to sit in. So that's all that mattered. Blew everything up, got everything situated. I put my diaper on because I got an adult diaper, you know, just in case I wasn't in the pool or whatever and I didn't just leak all over the place, and that we can kind of have it controlled. And so, you know, I had my diaper on. It was just a bra and a diaper, and was just until they got the pool together, and had my music going. And, you know, I was just going through the motions as the contractions continued to grow, can get stronger and stronger. I was just pacing myself. Sometimes I would hum or make, you know, a noise to kind of like ease the pain. For me, sometimes when I make noise, it kind of helps me ease the pain. And so I would make a noise and kind of hum and like pace back and forth, or, you know, either sit still and kind of just try to like let it take its course, let the contractions take its course until the pool was ready and it was time for me to actually get in the pool. When I got in the pool, it didn't obviously take the pain away. It didn't make it painless, but it definitely did relieve a lot of the aches, and it just made it more comfortable, and it just eased the pain, but it didn't eliminate the pain, obviously. But I just kind of will let the warm water kind of go up my back and around my belly. I would just kind of allow the contractions to take its course and run through, and, you know, listening to the music and just kind of trying to stay soothed. I'm not like I don't really do a lot of screaming or yelling. I kind of just go, I just kind of make noise as the contraction is going to kind of help me go through the process and let it run its course. I wanted to mention that my mother-in-law is a retired nurse practitioner. So when I asked her to be present for the delivery, she did her study on how to deliver a baby. Although she had been trained, it had been a while since she had been trained. So she just wanted to refresh her memory. And she also looked for what to look for when a baby is born, you know, just little things that you need to look for in newborn babies to make sure that they're healthy and okay. So during the labor, she was checking my vitals, making sure my heart rate was good, making sure baby's heart rate was good, checking my cervix, just keeping a very close eye on me and baby during the labor and after the labor. So just wanted to mention that really quickly, and then we'll continue with the video. They started to get more and more intense, and then I already knew, because it literally happened really the exact same way that my last two pregnancies happened, my last two natural births happened. It literally happened the exact same way every time. I wake up in the middle of the night, contractions go, my water breaks, and then I know very shortly I'm giving birth within the next few minutes, if not seconds. And so that's exactly what happened this time. There was that last contraction that happened, and then whoosh, my water broke. Because somebody, I can't remember who it was, but somebody was like, well, how are you going to know that your water broke if you're in the tub or in the pool? But you definitely feel the pop. Like, you feel the pop. I felt the pop. And the water released, and I knew after that it was coming. So I felt the urge to push. Shortly after that, I felt the urge to push, For a minute, I felt like I was pushing and, you know, nothing was happening. So my mother-in-law was, at this point, she's by the pool, under the pool, you know, because she's checking me every once in a while and looking under me and making sure that I'm good, making sure, looking under me and trying to see if she sees the head. And, you know, so she's letting me know, yes, the head is out, the baby's out. I'm holding on to my husband as I am pushing. I'm pushing and holding on to my husband's arm because he's in front of me, and I'm bearing down on him, holding, and I literally feel like I'm climbing up his back. I'm not just like holding on to his arm. When it was time for me to push, I felt like I was literally climbing up his arm and up his back. And I was kind of lifted out of the tub. And so once I finally do the last push, my mother-in-law catches the baby. She catches the baby and holds the baby, and you know, I bring her around and I sit and oh, baby girl, you're not gonna let mama talk, huh, girl? You're not gonna let mama talk, girl? Huh, baby girl? Huh, baby girl? My mother-in-law caught the baby and pretty much delivered the baby, and so I sat in the tub, and you know, I kind of had a lot of stuff going on down there in the tub. So there was all kinds of stuff. Let's just say that. So eventually, you know, I wanted to get out of the tub. I didn't want to, you know, me and the baby to be sitting in the tub with all the afterbirth. Out of the tub, sat on the blanket next to the tub, and my mother was there by this time, and she cut the cord. All right, sorry, I had to put her to sleep, but yes, my mother-in-law delivered the baby, and then my mother cut the cord. It was funny because when my mom cut the cord, because my mom's, you know, of course, anyway, the way that my mom is, you know, of course she supported me for the home birth and everything, but, you know, she was still kind of, she was a little nervous about it, you know, without being vocal or without being, I just know my mama, so I know she was a little nervous. So when she came to cut the cord, I was like, ah! I screamed when she cut it. I was just messing with her. We joke a lot. We play a lot. We play around. My mama's 20 times worse than me, trust me. So, you know, I screamed a little bit, tried to act like I was in pain when she cut the cord. Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. She was freaking out. But anyway, it was all good. It was a very good experience. I really enjoyed it. My boys were in, you know, they woke up in the middle of it all. I think as I was giving birth, they actually woke up. My son said he happened to see the cord or something when they were going from room to room. Anyway, my boys were there. My oldest daughter was there. It was great. I mean, it was a very, very peaceful. She came out screaming versus my other home birth that I had. My son came out and didn't make a sound. Okay, he didn't make a sound. And not because he was in any danger. He was just very calm. He was and he still is a calm spirit to this day. But my daughter, actually, who came out screaming and crying, is definitely much fussier than my boys. So I think that's interesting. But anyway, yeah, that was pretty much my labor and delivery. I hope it was easy to follow. Sometimes, you know, it plays out in your mind and you got to kind of recall events. I'm sure I left a lot out. I did go get checked up. Me and the baby, I got checked up. Made sure I was good. Didn't have any tearing. Made sure, you know, I was all right. Everything was great. Baby was great. I was great. And so, yeah, I was just very happy with my decision. I'm glad that I chose to have a home birth again, and this time just do it with my loved ones. And it was just us, and it was very simple, very smooth. My mother-in-law, who was very nervous about my first home birth with my son, was delivering my baby this time. And so it was great. It was awesome. It was perfect. And it was so funny because after she delivered the baby, she was like, she made sure I was good, and she was like, all right, I'm out. And yeah, so she just did it like a pro. But yeah, I just wanted to share my story. And maybe if it was helpful. I know when I was pregnant, I loved watching different birth stories. They're always interesting and, just gives you something to look forward to, especially when you're pregnant. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. Shalom.